Hey, Beach Bums, this is Andy here with BeachFront Radio. We've got a very, very, very special guest on the line with us, one of the originators of some of the most popular band, I think, in trop rock history, the Saint Somewhere band. And that's Quincy Yates here. How you doing, Quincy?
Man, I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah, man. So where are you located these days? Where your headquarters are?
I am in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville, yeah. That's around where Tall Paul is, right?
Yes. He plays here very regularly.
Yeah, cool. And you played with him in the Rama J Intercoastal, right?
Yes, I did.
That was so cool.
I was lucky to be in that situation for a while.
That was such an awesome, time for you guys, I know. So, yeah, let's talk.
Oh, yeah, man. We had fun.
Let's talk about your early musical career. How did you get started? Where were you growing up? Did you have family influences, or who influenced you in your music?
I started living with my grandparents at 10. Mm-hmm. And once I started living with them, they introduced me to music. They put me in orchestra, mm-hmm. and started me in pan, just everything. She just hit me all at once. My grandmother, she was very adamant because, she was a principal for an elementary school, and there's always if you add music to a child's education, the mm-hmm. brain expands, and she would be of that kind of thinking. So she really just delved me into that whole music scene.
Yeah, where did you grow up?
Just learning music. Yeah, Tobago. So, because I lived with my mom in obviously Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
So I lived with my mom in Trinidad. And then around 9, 10, I had the opportunity to go live with my grandparents mm-hmm. in Tobago, and it was an opportunity to have more opportunity.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
And the style of music that you picked up, was it the island style of music that you was?
Well, yeah, because I was just really sheltered because there was no really music played at home. Mm-hmm. And everyone was into church, so I would play for the church, right. And so there's hymns, which is hymns are sometimes very intricate harmonies.
Oh yeah.
And then she put me in music, so I was in the Tobago Youth Orchestra, which I played clarinet, like a B-flat clarinet. And then, because of my, let's say, tenacity towards the clarinet, although I wasn't really good at it, the orchestra had been gifted an oboe, and they gave me to play the oboe, mm-hmm. because I would just try really hard,
Right.
But it was all just classical music. And if there was music at home, if mama's, I'd call her mummy. So this is my grandma. But if mommy is singing, she's singing a hymn. And then there's no radio playing. If there's other music, that means it's me practicing.
Right.
And then I could only watch as much TV as I practiced on the piano.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yes. There was a lot of nonsense doodling, but I mean, hey, I just gotta get the time in.
Right, you gotta get the time in.
Yeah, but so basically it was just home music. So I know some artists that really, I grabbed onto was like David Rudder, Sparrow, Kitchener, and then there are certain artists that would bubble up. I was always in love with Michael Jackson. And then there would be a because we didn't have, especially in those days, we didn't have really many channels, but there would be a music channel that come up with like MOR music, and two artists that really just captivated me. One was John Tesh, and because I was in orchestra, so the whole orchestral just vibe of the writing and the production, I was like, whoa. And then my biggest one was Yanni, because the thing I liked about Yanni, now the stuff kind of borderline on cheesy, and I was like, well, You ask why it's cheesy. I don't know. But, you know, because he had this big mustache and he would just be so flamboyant.
Right.
But the music, man, that ton of musicians and instruments on stage, and I was just enthralled.
Cool, yeah. Those are some really great musicians, too, that influence you, and that's really what drives a lot of musicians is their intricacy in the arrangements, and that's what it sounds like you were really enthralled by, the arrangements of all the music.
Yeah, because it's like one of the first times I saw, because when you're in the orchestra and you have your sheet of music, right. And everyone has their own sheet of music, right. But then if you look at the conductor's score, right. His shows everybody's. Right. And to be able to, I was always like, man, how are you able to follow all of that? I know. So I just got, you know, I was just really just into that. And then once you start listening to, so then if you start listening to everything differently from like above, right, all encompassing, you just start listening to it like that.
But we got some songs here we want to talk about, and the first one I think we want to talk about is Jambalaya, which you performed with Ramajay Intercoastal, and there was that very special thing that happened with that particular album, right?
Well, you know, because somehow I had gotten, okay, so when I wrote this song, I'm very much influenced by Andy Narell. Mm-hmm. So when I wrote the song, I was like, well, man, this sounds so much like him. It's like, man, if I record this, he might get pissed. So I know I happen to be friends with him on Facebook. Uh-huh. So I sent him a message. It's like, hey, no, I mean, we're not like friends, you know. For some reason, I requested and he said, yeah. So I'm like, hey, so I have this song, we're about to go in the studio. I just want you to listen to the song and see if it's like a total rip-off and you're going to be pissed. And he sends me an email address. I'm like, oh my gosh, he actually responded. Huh? So I said, no, the recording is really rough. It's just because I have a Triton Core keyboard, which I can just kind of sequence loosely. It's rough, really rough. But I sent it to him. And then he sends back like, he says, I don't know why you would think I'd be mad about this. I'm like, and then I take my chance. Yeah. I'm like, would you consider being on it? He's like, oh, sure.
Oh, wow.
And what? I'm like, what? Yeah, so then we sent stuff back and forth because what I had was just yeah, you know, the raw idea and then the overarching just melody of it. Mm-hmm. And then at that time, he was working on his, there was a musical software he was working on, mm-hmm. which is the Andy Narell steel pans, like, especially like in the studio, so you can pull up his steel pans and add it into your recording. And so it's like the Eliminate Signature Collection or something like so. But so he was in Laborie, St. Lucia at the time, mm-hmm. And so we had a video call. I remember being such a dork. We on the video call. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm speaking to Andy Narell right now. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be totally silly. Can I take a picture of us talking? I got such a kick out of that. But yeah, so. And so he said, okay, so let me just work on it. And the thing he sent back, I mean, I should have given him a co-write. I mean, because there was a part A that, when you listen to the song, there are two parts. There's a part A and a part B. Part A, he kept how it is. And then my part B, his exact words were, you know, when it got to that section, I just took a left. Which means he just made it his complete own. Yeah. And he added the whole orchestra, because the thing he was working on is where you can just add, you're able to create a steel pan orchestra in just this kind of program. Right. And man, when he sent the last thing back, I remember listening to that at least 123 times that night.
At least.
At least. At least. Just over. I was just mesmerized. Here's my hero, and he did his thing on my song. What? Yeah, just wow.
Wow. And then you got a special nomination for that song, Consideration.
Oh, well, yeah.
Consideration,
yeah, well, that was, yeah, you know, I don't even, when you say the word Grammy, you know,
yeah,
it's like, that's something you, from since you're a kid, that's, if you're a musician, that's the ultimate
That's the pinnacle.
prize.
The pinnacle of being a
That's
musician.
the prize.
That's right.
That's the prize. And you know, it's like, the amount of work that we put into that album, you know, I hate to say the word, I felt vindicated, like, man, yeah, because the album was produced by Kimbrough.
Right.
It was just good. It's just so, the musicality, everything of it, I was like, okay, well, yeah, you know, sort of way. But, I mean, you know, it's just one of those, because there's so many great musicians who never even get that in a sentence, like, okay.
All right.
So we didn't get to the final nomination, that's fine, but just the fact that we could actually say it was considered,
Right. Oh, that's big. That's big.
That's, wow, man,
Yeah.
that's nice.
So why don't we
Nice.
take a listen to Jambalaya right now, and we'll come back and talk some more. Hey, Beach Bums, we're back here again, and we're talking with Quincy Yates and some of his music, and that was such a great song, Quincy. Jambalaya. I love that song, man.
Well, actually, it's very difficult to pronounce. It's Jambalaya.
Right.
Jambalaya.
Jambalaya.
Yes. You gotta lay into it.
So you got another song too that we want to talk about as well. One of your solos called "Blink of an Eye."
Right. Yeah. This is one of these songs. Every musician always wishes they get a 5-minute song.
Right.
5-minute song means you just sit down and boom, the song just appears.
That's right.
And this was one of those songs. Didn't have to work hard at it at all. Everything just kind of laid into itself. And now, I would say I'm lucky. I'm lucky because this is the third 5-minute song I've ever had. The first 5-minute song I had was Deep in My Heart. From the Sing Somewhere days.
Right.
That just happened quick. Then the second song was a song off the same Jambalaya album for Ramajay and Decoso, Mountain for Two. That just I sat down. The kid was out of town because we have a retail shop. I went into the shop and I had the piano set up, and I just sat down and it was like, like, oh, and it just wrote itself.
Yeah, that can happen.
It wrote itself. Yeah.
So is it called Blink of an Eye because it only took 5 minutes to write? Is that?
No, this song actually, this is my wife. This was what's for my wife, and Blink of an Eye is like basically the first time I ever met her, and it's like just in that blink of an eye, I mean, I was hooked. Yeah. I guess that's why it was a 5-minute song, because once I sat down and the chords always come first, and then it was just thinking of her in that moment, and it just happened. I don't know.
Cool, man. So before we play that song, why don't you tell people where you guys are performing coming up this spring and early in the summer?
Well, I would say there's a lot of stuff on the table.
Yeah, cool.
And no decisions have been made yet, because one of the big things is that we all have, there's 3 of us in Rum Monday, and we all have busy lives, just regularly. Yeah. So we have to really pick and choose what we want to do.
Sure.
And then, and for us, really and truly, especially since we've all been around so a long time, how much fun is it going to be? Because we're not doing it if it's not fun. So we're taking our time and making some decisions. Okay,
well, let's come back to that a little bit later on. We're going to talk about the members of your band, but let's listen to Blink of an Eye, your solo singer.
Well, I want to make sure, I want to do mention that I was really lucky. I was really lucky to have really talented friends who indulged me, where Andy Wood played mandolin, because he's one of those virtuoso kind of guitar guys.
Yeah.
Because he plays for like Rascal Flatts, and he's just like, one of those guitar god guys, like, but mandolin, he is masterful. And then Todd Parks on the stand-up bass, who his main job is plays for Sam Bush. And the fact I was able to just tickle for me, just to get these guys to just take the time and just make the song what it became.
Yeah, where was it produced?
If you listen to Deep in My Heart, and the strings, all those strings in the orchestra, back in that day, there was a guy named Paul Jones, who I had really latched onto. He's really good at that orchestral, because I like he's sort like me, and we wrote those string parts together, and then he opened up a studio in Knoxville called Orelation, which is like it's like a typical studio. You go in, you have these booths, But this is like this big, you can make videos, and because we actually made a video.
Oh, wow.
So you could actually go on YouTube, and if you go to my Quincy Yates YouTube page, you see the video for this song. So it's just a really cool space.
Right.
So we were able to, he didn't really produce it. I really took this one under my wing, because I really wanted to have it how I want it, without any outside influence. And that he was very gracious, and the space, we were able to just do whatever we wanted to do.
Well, I got an opportunity for you. Why don't you introduce the song?
Well, this is Blink of an Eye, and written for my beautiful, beautiful wife named Amy.
Take my hand, share my pillow through my storms, be my rainbow, the dawn that leads the way when I fly. When you cry, take my shoulder. When you smile, I surrender. On my heart, you can always rely. Anywhere I go, everyone will know you had me in the blink of an eye. Dance in endless laughter, when we find our ever after. May our love be as big as the sky. For you I'll grow, then you will know you had me in the blink of an eye. I've found the words to say, intentionally loving you is certain. And I will love you more along our way. Anywhere I go, everyone will know. Through the dark we stake the course, into the light I made my choice. You had me in the blink of an eye.
Well, Beach Bums, I hope you really enjoyed that song by Blink of an Eye by Quincy Yates here. That was his solo single, and a very nice song. And we're going to talk about another song here called Holiday off his Saint Somewhere band, and let him talk more about it and talk about his new band.
Okay, so with this song, I wanted to take it back to, because this is going back to the way 2002.
Yeah.
And this is the height of Saint Somewhere, let's say. We were at our peak. And at the time, we were managed by a company that was managing a 9-piece funk band. And they were like, huge in this region called Gran Torino. So they had like horns, 2 drummers. It was awesome. So they were kind of like we have the same management, so we're brothers. So I know I have access to them. So, and then at this point, my writing had become, well, of course, this holiday song is definitely not one of those 5-minute songs. This holiday song took years, and it was. I had maybe 3 or 4 songs, and I took pieces of each song and built this song, and it all kind of, because of the timing, I don't know. Sometimes stuff happens like that.
Right.
Of course, all songs are your baby, so you feel bad that you gutted that one. It's like, I'm sorry, I'll come back to you later. But you never forget any of them, because I still have all those, because I write on those little, on those big yellow pads.
Right.
I have all those sheets of paper from all those years. But anyway. There's a part in the song that it says, because there's a glee in Matt's voice. You can tell he's just super happy. It's like, here we go on a holiday, take me away, drinking rum and having fun with you all day. Right? But now, the point is, if you can drink rum on a Monday all day, that means you're either on holiday or you're living your best life with 0 commitments.
Right.
and that was 2002. And now that we have the band Rum Monday, it just seems, I pause, start raising. It's like, wow, it was kind of like a foreshadowing of things,
right.
I guess.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so the same. Now, remember I talked about Paul Jones.
Right.
And this is 2002. When you listen to it, the horns are extremely intricate, and this is where Gran Torino came in, because they're the only people who could actually pull it off. The horns are just intense. But it was Paul Jones and I who wrote those parts also. Same guy who wrote we wrote the strings for Deep My Heart. Once I find a person I can gel with, man, we just go. Right. But yeah, so this is, I took everything that I had, like, this is Trinidad, soca, rhythm, and it's just party. A big old romp.
Sounds like a lot of fun when you were making, that's for sure.
Yeah. This song was a really, really big song. Not big as far as like what it did, but as far as like in my head, because when you listen to it and you're like, well, wow, you'd be like, so all this stuff goes on in this head constantly, because I write orchestrally, so I'm hearing all of this, and I think of it as like a gift. But is it a pleasantly annoying gift or a marvelously rewarding curse? It's constant, and sometimes you're able to turn the switch off, because then sometimes it'd be like in between projects, you might have 2-3 years just break, and you could just turn it off and just lay low and chill. But once you turn the light on, that switch, man,
doesn't want to stop.
But I mean, there are people who never have an opportunity to turn that light on. Right. So I mean, I feel very lucky.
So let's talk about some little guy that's in your life here, who's an incredible musician. Your son?
Oh, Ashery.
Oh,
Ashery, yes.
He's got some light on him, that's for sure.
He's gonna go beyond me by leaps and bounds. He's here because one of my weaknesses is that I'll hear notes, but sometimes I miss the notes I'm hearing, and I'll be like, oh, it's that, and I'll be like, no, it's not that. He hears the exact note, and then he has the memory to back it up, and be like, this is what it is. Because he's a super Spider-Man fan. Yeah. And to watch him, he's been trying to figure out how to play the doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. And he will go on YouTube, and he'll find a key that he likes it in, and he'll just pick it out on the pan, and then pick it out on the piano, and just the way he approach, man, he's leaps and bounds beyond me.
How old is he now?
He's about to turn 7.
7. That's incredible.
In about a few days.
That's incredible. He's able to.
Man, it was cool that because we just had the Rum Monday debut a couple of weeks ago, and it was the first time he actually saw me play a show. And man, talk about enthralled.
You're gonna have to get him up there with you sometime for sure.
I don't think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna hold him back a little bit. He may take over for you.
Yeah, he's ready. He is ready.
Oh my
gosh. Ready. He's ready.
He's been ready since the day he was born, probably.
Well, I know what. Even I could tell after that show, he just became more energized musically, and it's like, oh, because when I started practicing for the show, he really started realizing, oh, so, because I would say, yeah, I should go practice your hands and practice your whatever, but seeing me do it at that level, he just was like, oh,
yeah, that is
very
so cool.
interesting.
That's good. You're gonna just enjoy watching him grow up and develop. I can tell.
Oh man, it's just, I'm already enjoying it.
I know.
It's like, wow, okay,
Incredible. Okay, well, tell people where they can get a hold of you if they want to hire Rum Monday to play for them, and your website, your Facebook page, your email if you want to. Lay it on them.
Yeah, the website is rummonday.com. Just how it sounds, rummonday.com.
Yeah.
And then there is a link on there to request a show. And then we have manager Alan who is on top of it.
Cool.
And he will get you what you need to get or where you need to be. He will make sure we consider everything that needs to be considered.
Yeah, we got all these Parrot Head events out there. We want to get you in some of those too, you know.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's been great talking to you, and we're going to play this song "Holiday" to close out the interview. And
close it out on a party.
That's a party song, man. Great talking to you, Quincy.
Oh man, thank you, Randy. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. We're going to play "Holiday" by Quincy Yates, and this is from the Saint Somewhere album.
All day. Now we go jump up, mix up, party all night, feeling alright. Here we go jump up, mix up, party all day, breaking away. Why do we take up so much time, working hard every day, for someone who's so unkind, when we just want to play? For everybody, enjoy the party. For everybody, here we go on a holiday. Take me away, drinking rum and having fun with you all day. Now we go jump up, mix up, party all night, feeling alright. Now we go jump up, mix up, party all day, breaking away. This a message to you, my friends, all who in the rat race. When you feel like you're going insane, it's time to slow the pace. For everybody, enjoy the party. 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 mix up, party all night, feeling alright. Here we go, jump up, mix up, party all day, breaking away for everybody.